My name is Carl Repp, and I'm the principal of Belmont Secondary School. You need to know that I wasn't the first choice as an MC for tonight. I wasn't the second choice. Usually they pick funny people. People enjoy this sort of work, so I wasn't even the 10th person. I was the only choice. So, knowing that, I just want you to hang in there. I'll try and make the pain very quick. This is a very special grad class for me. I've been the principal of almost a half of this grad class for 6 years. We started together 6 years ago at Dunsmuir, and 3 years ago we transitioned together to Belmont. And I can say without hesitation that this is one of the best grad classes I've ever introduced. I'd like to invite Superintendent of Schools of School District 62 Soup, Mr. Jim Cambridge, to the podium with a few words from the school board.
Thank you, Carl. Grads, the last couple of years I've tried to do this book back and forth, and excuse me, I'm not going to try to do the twisting routine this year. I'll face the audience a lot easier. Some graduates, parents, honored guests, staff, ladies and gentlemen. To the graduates of 2012 from Belmont Secondary, I bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of the 6th School District. As a teacher and administrator for over 30 years in the district, I feel it's a privilege to share the day with you. I want to acknowledge the hard work you've put forward in the last 13 years of formal schooling and the support, direction, and perseverance that you've received from your parents, family, and friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, mothers and fathers, grandparents, siblings, graduating class of 2012, I bring greetings from the Legislative Assembly of the Province of British Columbia. It is a delight to be here again. I think I'm on year 7 now. And for you parents, if you just hold for a second, grads, I want to speak directly to the parents for a moment. I stood here 5 years ago, and I stood here 4 years ago and watched my children walk across this carpet. And just last year, I watched them walk across it again as graduates from UVic. And I'm here to tell you that things don't really change. When I left the house today, one was sound asleep and the other one was eating cornflakes watching cartoons.
With clerical staff, thank you, Pam. And thank you to our QP staff, Katharina, Heather, Sylvia, Jean, Kay, Anne-Marie, Michelle, and Lori for stepping up to fill the voids. Now, I can't see the audience very well, and I can see a few of the grads, but I want to see by a show of hands how many people here have been touched in some way by Mr. Ron Warder. Mr. Ron Warder has been an educator for many, many years in the school district. The same theme about we're at a crossroads. We are going to get the students active here coming across the stage, and as an audience, we have a couple of choices. We can sit and applaud for 30 seconds or so for each graduate across the stage, and we'll be here until about 11 o'clock tonight. Or we can choose to hold our applause until the end of the actual walk across the stage, and then you'll have numerous opportunities to applaud this half of Belmont's graduating class. I would suggest from the podium that you choose the second option, and we hold the applause until the end and not applaud for each individual student. I know it's difficult because there are groups here that are representing each person that's sitting behind me, but if you could hold your applause, I know that would be appreciated by everybody in this building. So, without further ado, we'd like to present to you individually the grad class in Belmont 2012.
Darcy Abba. Hannah Flack.
Hannah has made many friends at Belmont and wants to thank her 6 best friends and her family for always supporting her and giving her the unconditional love. She plans on spending the next few years at Camosun taking business, hoping one day to strike millions. Lastly, she wants to congratulate Polka Monsters for an amazing run at dodgeball.
Joshua Fleming.
Josh would like to thank his friends and family and the grad class of 2012 for making the past 3 years awesome. Good luck to everyone in the future. We did.
Samantha Fletcher.
Sam plans on attending Camosun in the fall, taking the visual arts program and hopes to become a tattoo artist. Samantha. Ray will be beginning his career as in athletic therapy at Camosun College this fall. Until then, Ray plans on traveling with his friends Jordan and Jerry. He wants to thank his teachers, coaches, and friends for making grade 12 the best year of his life. Ray Frang is a recipient of the Dogwood Award for Physical Activity and the David Cameron Elementary PAC Bursary.
Cole Frazier.
Cole looks forward to leadership training in Squamish this summer, with the goal of working with BC Easter Seal camps for years to come. Cole will continue.
Nicole Jones.
Nicole has been an avid student throughout her high school years. She's looking forward to completing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Camosun College and the University of Victoria. Nicole Jones is the recipient of the Dogwood Award for Second Languages.
Taylor Jeffrey.
Taylor would lessons skateboarding and inking his body. Alex thanks his family, friends, and School District 62 for your patience.
Connor Krupa.
Belmont wishes Connor all of the very, very best in his future endeavors.
I don't plug the meter.
Melissa Piper.
Belmont wishes Melissa all the best in her future endeavors.
Christina Lafreniere.
Our school may be held together by duct tape, but what makes it so adhesive are the wonderful teachers.
Ricky Magard.
Ricky is looking forward to attending Camosun in September for the nursing program. She's enjoyed her time at Belmont and would like to thank her friends and family for all their support.
Kayla Mahood.
Kayla would like to thank her friends and family for inspiring and supporting her. She plans to pursue a career in art.
Alicia Mays.
Belmont wishes Alicia all the very best in her future endeavors.
Shauna Marcellus.
Shauna Dogwood Award for Fine Arts.
Emma Martin.
Emma would like to thank her friends for making the past 3 years unforgettable. Shout out to her girls from Dance Academy and her boys from Senior Acting Company. Emma would also like to point out that she's graduating with a higher grade point average than both of her sisters. Congratulations, grads of 2012.
Taylor Mazeros.
Next year, Taylor plans to take a year off to work.
Kendall Montgomery.
Kendall has enjoyed her final year and wants to thank her 3 best friends, family, and Frank for making it so memorable. She'll never forget the campouts, the couches, the pranks, and of course the memories of Mexico. Kendall is sad to be leaving, but eager to start the next chapter of her life.
Kelsey Morris. Rebecca Penner.
Becca would like to thank her family for raising her to be the perfect child she is today, and wishes the best to the grads of 2012.
Michael Peverell.
Michael was involved in football with Belmont since grade 10 and made Team BC in the summer of 2011. After grad, Mike wants to choose becoming a psychologist. She'd like to thank her friends and family for the love and support throughout her high school years.
Ryan Stinson.
And plans to make it big. The best is yet to come.
Alexa Turcotte.
Thanks to for the last grads to get back to their seats. I would like to introduce to you the second half of the graduating class, Belmont Secondary 2012. The valedictory right now.
Hello, 3 o'clock ceremony. Dignitaries, parents, people I don't know, which is most of you. How are you today? Are you getting tired of all these speeches? No? Good. It may surprise you to know that you are part of what I deem the lazy people speech, because there's actually one much earlier in the day. I understand you weren't able to make it though, because I was barely able to get up on time. I was supposed to be bad form for the valedictorian not to show up at the ceremony though, so somehow I managed to drag myself out of bed. You see, as far as I'm concerned, any time before 1 is much too early for anything this important. You really should have been there though. I know you all wouldn't fit. You could like sit on the floor or something. And then you would have got to see me when I was young, full of life. Now look at me. Hours older, you're all an undisclosed age, learned very early in life, never to question an adult's age. Ladies, you all look very young. I'm kidding though, because regardless of what ceremony you are in, we're all here for one purpose, to celebrate something 12 years in the making. Grad 2012. Before I go any further with this, I would like to say that I am honored to have been elected your valedictorian. Honored and very surprised. Because despite having said at the start of the year that I would be the valedictorian, I didn't expect to win. Mostly because I didn't know what valedictorian meant. Instead, I found out what it meant when I wrote the speech, which was last week. And just a heads up, I may have procrastinated on writing the speech. I'm not sure if you remember, but I think I procrastinated on the first speech too. And in English it's time before that. And a math thing, and then a social thing. What I'm trying to say is that I procrastinate a lot. I've been told I'm going to pay for it in university, but that is a lesson that I'm hoping to put off for as long as possible. But you would think that with all the time that I had, I would have figured out what valedictorian meant much sooner, and not just assume that it meant high overlord of the grad class. I titled it Apply Go to this choice anyway. I really should have known what it meant because I had 12 years to figure it out. And 12 years is a lot of time. Now it's time you can learn to play an instrument, get a PhD, you can build your own house if you were so inclined. I'm not. Or you could take the child you love and send them to school and support them through 12 years of it. I honestly don't know how any of you did it. How you don't learn dumb decisions and terrible mistakes and look at the hairstyles you have. I don't know what we were thinking. You could do this with your children so that 12 years in the future, you could watch them cross the stage and tell them how it seems like just yesterday they took their first steps, spoke their first words. We weren't 6 feet tall and driving and growing facial hair. Something that I can't do, totally support. When you took them their very first day of school and held their hand as they walked there. Now here we sit, exactly 1 day later by my count, ready to graduate. But this is about so much more than us graduating from high school. Because if it were, then we've all come here today to celebrate the fact that our schooling now costs lots and lots of money. No. This is about us growing up and finding our place in the world. And I suppose it took me 12 years to finally learn, but valedictorian comes from a Latin phrase that means to say farewell. And I suppose that is what I'm going to try to do here today. But first, let me say that I disagree with any notion that someone could successfully come up here and put words together that would encapsulate how one feels and say farewell to the grad class. This is one of the moments that this is a time in our lives where everything is so fluid and subject to change that any thought that I could come up here and say successfully is ridiculous. It's one of those moments we've waited for all our lives. We have so many conflicting feelings about it. Excitement, fear, trepidation, joy, purpose. And though I don't know any of you well enough to understand how you feel today, as you sit here and cry as your parents watches over you, I can say this. Every port and shore is open to you now. Do not pass them by, let time take them away from you. Do not be afraid of the fact that you have infinite possibilities to choose from. They were always there. Your parents didn't let you choose before. Just continue to move forward. Move us forward. I don't ask you to go out and create great work that you remember, but touch people's lives. Make memories. Exist. Live. Fall in love so that one day you can come back here and see us all again. Farewell.
Grads, each year, you're pushed and pulled by two sets of adults. The first, Zach mentioned, are parents and guardians, but there's also a second group, and that's your teachers. So grads, I'd just like to have you give a round of applause to all the teachers and the adult posse that helped you get here.